Hello, amazing human, and welcome to Neurodivergent Bites, a podcast for neurodivergent entrepreneurs to understand systems, change the narrative about productivity, and embrace yourself for who you really freaking are. If your energy is being sucked, you're struggling to focus, or you know you need systems, but there's a disconnect for whatever reason, join your host, that's me, Carolee Galt, along with fellow amazing humans on how being a neurodivergent entrepreneur has impacted the way they do life and business. If you're looking for bite-sized action steps, you're in the right place. Welcome back to Neurodivergent Bites. I'm your host, Carolee, and today we are going to be bouncing off of last week's episode, and we're going to be talking about how in the world do you even put yourself first? How in the world do we even do this self-care thing? But we're going to go at it from a different angle. I was talking to my husband this week, and he is such an amazing human, and he works so freaking hard, and I'm sure you do too, and so you might be able to relate to this. You are constantly putting all of your energy into everyone else. If you are a mom, if you are a parent, if you are a caregiver, whatever this is, right? You could even be just an amazing human, right? Like you don't have to have a title or a role in order to be able to put everyone else first above yourself. And it becomes a part of your identity when you do this. So I challenged my husband this week. I said, you are constantly putting me, the kids, your job, everyone and everything above you. And I said, I love you so very much. I want to do this experiment with you. I told him what it was before. He said yes, because we're all about choice around here, right? But I was like, I challenge you this week to put everything through a filter of how does this serve me? How does this put me first? How do I actually feel about this thing? And he accepted. So I'll have to let you know how that works out. But he was very hesitant on putting himself first because that could mean a lot of things. That might mean someone else is thinking that you're being rude or you're being disrespectful or that, you know what I mean? Like there's so many things. And you're not. You are worth so much. As the saying goes, you can't give from an empty cup. And I agree with that, right? You have to put yourself first in order to be able to serve and support those other people that you have been serving and supporting this entire time. But when you come at it from a place of you're good, you're feeling great, you're taking care of yourself, those other people, they see you differently. They see you shining. They see you glowing. They see you feeling better. Which means now when you give, they don't feel like they're taking advantage of you. If they do. Depends on, a 2-year-old isn't going to think they're going to take it. that they're taking advantage of you. But, maybe a 10-year-old might. We don't know. Emotional intelligence is different for everyone. But it comes down to those people are going to be able to see a difference in you as a human. I want you to be really honest with yourself. Like really freaking honest, okay? I want you to journal about it. If you're a journaling type of person, I want you to just verbally process it if that's how you're just talking out loud to yourself or someone else. I want you to do whatever feels right to you. And I want you to really start thinking about, to write it down, to process it. How do I take care of myself? I want you to ask that question. How do I take care of myself? How do I take care of others? How do I feel when I take care of myself? How do I feel when I take care of others? These two might be completely different. You might feel very much shame or guilt or, just not the same happy feeling when you go to try to take care of yourself. Like your time should be used, taking care of someone else or doing something else. But when you take care of other people, you feel happy that you supported someone and you feel very joyful and you feel very helpful, right? And that's something that you need, okay? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I want to say something is I used to be the person that took care of everyone else. I was exhausted and drained almost 100% of the time. I don't know how I functioned. I was seriously a hot mess and stressed to the max all the time. Literally, I was thriving off of stress. If you're thriving off of stress, you're heading to burnout. And if you didn't listen to last week's podcast, totally do that, because we talked about energy management and burnout prevention, okay? But like, you need to take care of yourself for your own self. And it will feel very unnatural if you're not used to it for a decent amount of time. But I want you to find someone that's in your corner that can hold you accountable to actually, asking yourself those questions. How does this support me? Does this support me? How do I feel about this? Like, am I taking care of myself? Right? Am I putting everyone else first and not worrying about what I need? Am I neglecting myself? How would you feel if you neglected that person that you absolutely love and adore and care about? How would it make you feel? Probably pretty shitty, right? So, are you neglecting you? Because if you're neglecting you, do you feel shitty about it? And if you're like, well, yeah, I feel shitty about it, but I don't know what to do about it. We need to chat. We need to connect. You need to send me DM, email, however you want to talk to me. But we need to talk, because taking care of you should not make you feel shitty. It's a whole process. You are not alone in this process. It took me years to really feel okay with taking care of myself and putting myself first. But you know what? I still put my family and my friends, everyone. I have never put them more first, because I put me first in my life and felt really good about it. It's a balance. It's like a teeter-totter, right? If you don't have it balanced, someone else is getting more air, right? If you're, someone's throwing it down on the ground, right? Pulling it down to the ground, and then the other person's getting a little, I don't remember, what would you used to call those things? Was it called a cherry bomb or something? I don't remember. If you totally remember, you should totally let me know. But, like, if it's not even, like, you're the one, like, everyone else that you care about is on that side of the teeter-totter that's a lot heavier, a lot more time put into it, and then you're the one that's kind of barely hanging on. You're afraid of when things are going to just go pop. And you're stressed, and you're terrified, and you're exhausted, and you are literally surviving on fear, almost. As I say this, I'm literally processing how I used to feel for so long. So if that's you, goodness, you are not alone. Take this time to do those journal exercises. Talk out loud if you want. Hell, if you own a podcast, talk about it on your podcast. I don't know, go live on Facebook if you feel like it. Talk to a trusted friend. I don't care, whatever feels good to you. I want you to lean into those feelings and go, what feels good for this? And I encourage you, if leaning into that, if you want to talk to me, I am 100% open with you sending me a DM on whatever social media that you follow me on. And if you don't follow me on any of it, go ahead and find that in the show notes. Because we really need to start flipping this in our minds, because our minds are so freaking powerful. When we start flipping this in our minds and we start feeling good about our feelings and feeling good about what we are doing and what it's setting an example for, right? You want your kids and your spouse or your partner, all those humans in your life to make sure that they're happy and cared for. I want you to flip it onto you. I want you to be happy and cared for too. If you are someone that really just needs a next level of accountability to remotely get this even started, I invite you to join the Hyperfocus Treehouse, where we talk about so many things, right? Systems, accountability, strategy, business, life, time, focus, like I could go on, planning, right? We talk about how to put you first. We talk about how to put your business first, because the good Lord knows you put your clients first. You put everyone else first. Everything else first. And so in the Hyperfocus Treehouse, we really narrow in on allowing you, your desires, what you want, right? To really shine through. And when all of that shines through, oh my goodness, you can probably hear it in my voice, it is magic. So go ahead and head to the show notes. Grab that link to the Hyperfocus Treehouse. Join the productivity revolution here. because the productivity revolution also involves you putting yourself first, man, because you are freaking amazing. And if you don't believe it yet, then we have some work to do, and that's 100% okay. All right, I got your back.